Call of Duty, a name that once stood for innovation and excitement in the gaming world. The mere mention of the name sends shivers down the spines of true gamers. What was once a beacon of hope has now become a source of endless frustration and disappointment. It's a festering wound on the face of interactive entertainment, a monument to mediocrity, and a glaring example of what happens when creativity is sacrificed for profit. A soul-crushing vacuum of uninspired drivel that leaves players feeling empty and unfulfilled. The excitement has been replaced with monotony, the innovation with repetition. This ain't no love letter, folks. This is an intervention, an urgent call to action for all gamers who have been let down time and time again. We're here to dissect this abomination, piece by excruciating piece, to understand how a once great franchise has fallen so far from grace. We'll expose the rotting carcass of what was once a promising franchise, a franchise that had the potential to be legendary but is now a shadow of its former self. Prepare yourselves, because it's about to get ugly, real ugly. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're going on a journey through the dark and twisted history of Call of Duty. We're diving deep into the murky, toxic swamp that is Call of Duty, a place where dreams go to die and creativity is suffocated. And trust us, you'll want to shower afterward. The stench of disappointment and wasted potential is overwhelming, but together, we can uncover the truth and demand better from our games.
First on the chopping block, gameplay, or should we say the lack thereof. Year after year, Activision shovels out the same stale, reskinned crap, hoping nobody will notice. They bank on the nostalgia and the brand loyalty of their fan base, but how long can that really last? Run here, shoot that, die, respawn, repeat. It's a never-ending cycle that feels more like a chore than entertainment. It's the gaming equivalent of chewing on a piece of cardboard. Bland, tasteless, and utterly uninspiring. There's no innovation, no creativity, just the same tired mechanics recycled ad nauseum. The lack of fresh ideas is glaringly obvious. Remember the excitement of the first modern warfare, the thrill of something new and groundbreaking, the heart-stopping tension of storming that building in Pripyat. Those were the days when gaming felt like an adventure. Those days are long gone, replaced by a soulless, repetitive grind that would make a robot weep. The magic has been lost in the pursuit of profit. It's the same predictable patterns, the same cheap jump scares, the same frustratingly overpowered weapons. Nothing feels balanced or well thought out. You've played one Call of Duty. You've played them all. The series has become a shadow of its former self, a cash cow milked dry. It's time for a change, time for developers to take risks and bring back the excitement that once defined the franchise. Until then, we're left with recycled gameplay garbage.
Let's talk graphics, or the lack thereof. We're in the age of stunning photorealistic games that blur the lines between reality and fantasy. So why does Call of Duty look like it was rendered on a potato? The textures are muddy, the character models stiff and lifeless, environments are bland and uninspired, seemingly designed by a team who's never actually seen the outside world. We're not asking for miracles here, just some semblance of effort. Give us something, anything, that suggests a shred of artistic vision. Until then, Call of Duty remains a visual wasteland.
Oh right, the story. Or rather, the pathetic excuse for a story that Call of Duty tries to pass off. You might be wondering why we even bother talking about it. Well, it's because even the most action-packed games need some semblance of a narrative to keep players engaged. Look, we get it, you're not here for Shakespearean drama, but even a mindless action flick needs a coherent plot, right? Something to tie all those explosive set pieces together, to give you a reason to care about what's happening on screen. Call of Duty's narrative is about as deep as a kiddie pool. It's like they didn't even try. The story is just a series of loosely connected missions with no real emotional weight or depth. It's a jumbled mess of explosions, one-liners, and forgettable characters. Sure, the action is intense and the graphics are top-notch, but without a solid story, it all feels hollow. You'll struggle to remember their names, let alone their motivations. Who are these people? Why should we care about them? The game doesn't give us any reason to. It's like they pulled random plot points out of a hat and called it a day. There's no rhyme or reason to the story, no sense of progression or development. The dialogue is atrocious. The characters are paper-thin stereotypes. It's like they were written by someone who's never actually met a real person. It's an insult to storytelling, plain and simple. And it's a shame because with a little more effort, Call of Duty could have a story that's just as engaging as its gameplay. But as it stands, it's a missed opportunity.